Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, April the 15th, I think, 2020. Coronavirus is still going around outside, we think. So keep practicing that social distancing. Today, we're talking about the Russian Revolution. Now, Hal, by the way, got a really cool shirt. Ultimate Warrior for you U of L fans. Yeah. All right, so Russian Revolution. Big part of World War I because of the Russian Revolution. We're talking about, we're walking around my basement right now. Y'all getting a tour. We're talking about Russia's withdrawal from World War I. Now, Russia doesn't have a ton of. Reading a text message from my wife. Hang on. Okay. Russia doesn't have, their economy's in bad shape at that time of World War I. The citizens of Russia are all like, oh my God, why are we fighting in this war, right? And it's Russia, so it's not only is it cold, but you're poor, you're hungry. That's not a good combination. That usually leads to anger and sickness and all that. So Russia has over 1 million soldiers, right? They got the manpower. The Russian government tells its citizens, its male citizens, if you join the army for World War I, your family will be taken care of, right? But a lot of people in Russia did not see a need to be a part of World War I. The reason for Russia's issues, economic issues, was because it had poor leadership, weak leadership. Nicholas II didn't want the job, but he got it because his dad was assassinated. So he's kind of stuck with it, and he was a weak leader. If you're an Office fan, he was a lot like Michael Scott. Doesn't like making tough decisions. How many of you all know somebody that doesn't like making tough decisions? How many of you all feel like you don't like making tough decisions? So what are the things you do to avoid making those tough decisions, right? So Nicholas puts it off. A lot of people felt like Nicholas was letting his wife run the show. There's a creepy person. I encourage you. You'll see the name. I'll post the name at some point during the video chat. Rasputin. You may want to Google that because he's a creepy person. Definitely not anybody you want looking through your bedroom window at night. So the people are fed up, and a lot of people believe that the Germans sent, because Germany was an enemy of Russia, sent in this person to start the Russian Revolution and knock Russia off its game, and that was Vladimir Lenin, right? Lenin, think about how popular Donald Trump is amongst his supporters, right? Lenin was that way probably times 5 in Russia at that time. And Lenin offers 3 words, and you probably ought to write these down in order to have full understanding of this. Peace, land, and bread. Peace as in no fighting, right? So no war. Land. At that time, the government owned all the land in Russia. And now Lenin is telling the people, everybody's getting a fair share. And then as far as bread went, well, if you're starving, and you're being told, all right, now everybody gets their fair share, not just the rich. Everybody loved it. And everybody followed suit. Russia goes through its own civil war, known as the Russian Revolution, and Lenin, the Reds as they called them, come out victorious. And Lenin, the first thing Lenin does in 1917 is pull Russia out of World War I. You need to think, how does that impact the United States at that time? At that time, the United States was not involved in World War I. So something to think about there when it comes to the Russian Revolution, the impact that it had on the U.S. You'll learn that more tomorrow. Lenin offers peace, land, and bread, and he is about as popular as could be in Russia. Cool fact, Lenin, his body's still on display in Russia in an airtight casket, glass case. His hair looks like dried spaghetti. So, that's what happens when you're entombed for almost 100 years. Been dead for almost 100 years, and you can still go see his body on display, skin and everything. So, hope that didn't gross you out. All right, so that's the quick discussion on the Russian Revolution. Think about, again, 3 words, peace, land, and bread. Think about why making tough decisions, or the inability to make tough decisions and take responsibility, is a sign of weak leadership. All right, and then think about, most importantly for us here as Americans, how did the Russian Revolution impact the United States? All right. If you got any questions, you can hit me up at the video chat at your class's time. First period's going to be at 11 o'clock. Third period's at 11:30. Fourth period's at noon. And fifth period's going to be at 1 o'clock. All right. Hit me up in the chat room if you got any questions between now and then. Otherwise, hopefully I'll see you all at during the video chat. All right. Have a good morning.